Welcome to another Unreal Foos tutorial. Today I want to show you how to do a chip angle pass. The first thing to understand about the chip angle pass is that you hit with the edge of the guy, and that's essentially why it's called chipping. A chip pass, chip angle pass. So, unlike a brush, which basically you use the face of the guy, with the chip, again, you use the edge. So when you're bringing the ball, you're basically going to wait for the ball to get to a spot where you can get that almost 45-degree angle. And in order to increase the consistency of execution, what you really want to practice is having the guy be all the way up against the wall, because that makes it a lot easier for you to just swing and essentially just wait for the ball to get to that spot where you can angle it, right? As opposed to maybe doing a chip angle over here farther out in the lane, which you may still be able to do, but it's your consistency is probably not going to be as great. So it's typically better to practice chipping when you're all the way up against the wall, and that will also make it a little bit easier to get the pass through, because once you're all the way up against the wall and you angle, the angle typically tends to be a little bit deep. So as soon as you go all the way up against the wall, most likely the defender will try to follow you to the wall, and as you chip, you'll have a big lane to pass to. So one of the key things about this pass is, rather than just going and executing the pass in one motion, like that, typically what you can do to sort of sell it a little bit better is to do a little bump fake. So as you start the motion, you can go, as the ball is traveling towards the wall, you can try to get to the wall and bump a little bit, and then as soon as the ball gets there, then you can chip. That little bump fake tends to get the defender to react towards the ball, so that will typically open things up. And so let me just show you what that looks like. So if I want to do that little bump fake, is as soon, you see how I'm doing that, it's as I start the motion of the pass, I try to get to the wall, and I do that. So try to practice that, some practice drills. Initially it's just have the guy down, maybe tilt it a little bit back so that the ball is maybe a little bit under the bar. I mean, you can play around with how far you want it to be forward or back. I typically, don't have it too far back. The ball is just, mainly just traveling almost under the bar. But the drill is just, tilt your guys back a little bit and put the ball there, essentially at the angle, and so you can just kind of play around with where you need to hit the ball, and then catch the ball there. So I recommend that you practice with that little bump fake, or also just slowly going there and then just hitting a chip right away. So either way, it's just good. That's just good practice to understand how you're supposed to hit that angle. So just keep doing it, and practice the timing of going out, getting out here and catching the ball. That in essence is the chip angle pass, but you can actually make the chip angle pass a passing series, and in order to do that, obviously you have to have a wall pass to complement the lane pass. So what you can do is, again, doing the little bump fake, because sometimes the defenders will get smart, and as you're if you're doing a chip angle passing series exclusively, then sometimes defenders will be more likely to just leave their guys on the lane, assuming that trying to guess that you're going to go there. But when you're not doing the chip angle passing series exclusively, that's why the little bump works. Is that if you're doing a brush series, at the time that you end up surprising somebody with the chip angle, and that's typically why that bump is successful in getting defenders to run out here. But when you use it exclusively as a passing series, again, as you're moving it, when you do that little bump fake, You can also try to read what the defender does, and if he bails out too much out of the lane or out of the wall, then you can go down to the wall with a little bit of a brush. So you can wait there, and then just go down. So you can just mix that in there. So just play with that. It's basically all you're doing is as you're waiting for the ball, you're just basically gonna wait. Instead of chipping up, you're just gonna wait for the ball. And at the time that you would have chipped up, instead of chipping, you go and then brush down. That's the essence of that pass, like that. So you can also do that. Put the ball there at the point where you're gonna be chipping, and instead of chipping, just do a brush pass to practice. But you definitely want to practice that pass moving. So you want to do that kind of thing. And again, just with any other passing series, if you're doing exclusively a chip angle pass, you also can mix in a quick stick laying pass, something like that, just to throw somebody off. But that's all just part of the creativity of doing a passing series. However you want to mix things up. But as you're doing that, do that brush down and the chip angle pass. So try it out. Let me know how it works, and if you have any other questions. So I think it's a great. For me, this is a great pass to do, just to kind of mix it in, and it typically works a lot better on the near wall. Even though I'm a far wall passer, I typically don't do very many chip angle passes, just because it's a little bit awkward. Or even though you can do it, it's a little bit harder to get down on the far wall side, but it's a great pass on the near wall side. So.